Alright guys, it's me Joshua, aka Fish Film Maker 3940 here again. I stream ranking I'm doing. And this time, basically this live stream was requested to me by Lucas Green, who is the creator of the YouTube series, the Lynxy series, which if you don't know, this season I played Dr. Josh Carrot. He's basically the CEO of FFM, which is basically a homage to my channel, Future Hero. And he requested, since I run the insult that is basically Daphne and Velma, he will look and rank all five live movies from my worst to the best. So, Matt the man, he said, "What's up, man? How you doing? I'm doing good." Movies by Angel says, "I've only seen the Roger Gosnell Scooby-Doo movies." Basically, all five Scooby-Doo movies is the two Roger Gosnell movies directed by Roger Gosnell and written by James Gunn. They came out in 2002 and 2004. And Scooby-Doo The Mystery Begins, 2009, Curse of the Lake Monster, 2010, and the recently Daphne and Velma. Hey man, Caleb Bogus says, "Hi." So basically, we are going to rank all five of these movies from my least favorite to my favorite. I did not write a ranking of this out because I had this planned in my head. So this is how the ranking is going to go. Before I get started, after this is done and processed, tell me how you rank the Scooby-Doo movies in order and which one's your favorite, which one's your least favorite, and we can take it from there. But anyways, let's get started. We got 4 people watching. We got 2 likes. So let's see what happens. Matthew Lillard as Shaggy was perfect casting. Okay, so coming number 5 is the recent Scooby-Doo live-action film, Daphne and Velma. I need to take this in, y'all. Because if you've seen my review of this movie, you know that I felt completely insulted as I was watching this movie. I felt insulted. This was a disgrace to Daphne and Velma. I hated everything in this movie, from the writing to the direction to the freaking dialogue. The dialogue is so freaking awful. I wanted to just, I wanted to press mute on this thing because the dialogue was so freaking awful and so freaking terrible. Ugh. Some of the CGI in this movie was awful. Let me just say this. I was actually kind of curious about Daphne and Velma. This could have been a nice, entertaining film. The origin story is not even the problem for me. Caleb Bogus, he said, Daphne and Velma could have been nice, but they had to make an origin story. It's not the worst movie of 2018. It's basically number 6. And the sad part is, I have 4 movies that left that has to finish off that list. Because I said I will do a complete top 10 worst of the year this year. Because I didn't want to do it last year. But I got 4 other bad movies I need to see to complete that list. And Venom is one of the, fortunately. I don't even... I've been asked not to review Teen Titans Go, the movie on my channel. And I'm not going to review Teen Titans Go on my channel. It doesn't deserve it. But I am going to have to suffer through Venom, though. And that movie is going to suck. I'm basically... I can't be optimistic on that movie for anything. Because and it's in the hands of Sony. But Daphne and Velma could have been a nice... And Acrimony was a guilty pleasure for me. It's one of my guilty pleasures of the year. My main guilty pleasure, Truth or Dare, for me. But Daphne and Velma could have been a really entertaining film. I thought this had potential. You had Ashley Tisdale and Jennifer Tisdale producing this. And then, I don't know, I'm not going to blame them because they knew what they want. They came up with a good idea. The crappy script, the awful direction, and performances. The acting in this movie is just abysmal. The only credit I'll give is to Sarah Jeffrey, Brian Stepanek, and Laura Morano's sister, Vanessa Morano. They try the best they can to work with a crappy script. The actress who plays Velma, she's alright, but she's completely miscast. The rest of the cast is just out there, and they make very decent performances. A Wrinkle in Time was your worst movie of 2018, says movies by disappointing. So disappointing. I respect that. It is disappointing. Now, the rest of the cast in this movie is either sleepwalking or they don't even try to put on good performances. So at the end of the day, I don't know what else I can say about this movie except go watch my review of this movie if you want to see how I feel about it. There will be cards for each movie down below as you watch this once this is processed and done. Because this movie is absolute garbage. Don't buy it, don't watch it, don't rent it, don't do any of that. Just avoid this movie at all costs. Stay away. Just stay away from this god awful train wreck. God awful piece of crap. Now, these next four, this is where the series starts to get good. Caleb Boga says, I turned off Wrinkle in Time. It was so bad. Now, coming in fourth place is Scooby-Doo, The Mystery Begins. Now, this is a very entertaining film. This is one of the good ones. There are four good ones here. I enjoy The Mystery Begins. It's a good prequel. I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was pretty awesome. And I thought the idea of seeing the Mystery Inc.'s first mystery was pretty good. I have to say that, hello, David Mendina. Caleb Boga says, I like Scooby-Doo Mystery Begins. I actually really love the idea of this prequel, and I really like this movie so much because it didn't insult me as much as Daphne and Velma did. The CGI on Scooby, yeah, it is pretty hit and miss when it comes to the CGI on Scooby-Doo, but I will say that it does look pretty impressive at times, and you have to take into credibility that it was a direct-to-TV film, so they had a budget and they had to use it somehow. The casting choices for each character I thought was very good. I I couldn't have thought of better casting choices. They're not nearly as good as Freddie Prinze Jr., Linda Cardellini, Sarah Michelle Gellar, and Matthew Lillard, but considering the shoes they had to fill, they could have been a hell of a lot worse, and I felt like they did an entertaining job here. I do love the first monster they catch. I do like how they meet up in the tension. The only problem I have is some of the CGI on Scooby Doo is kind of bad, and I don't really care too much for the detention teacher. But everything else is really good. And sadly, this was the last movie for Lorena Gale, who died while they were making this movie. So, rest in peace, Lorena Gale. Scooby Doo: The Mystery Begins is number 4. Coming at number 3 is Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed. I remember seeing this in theaters in 2004, and I had a really good time with this. I had a fantastic time with it. David Mendina says, I'm not a huge fan of the Scooby-Doo movies. We can agree, disagree. I'll do a shout out for you in my next video. Says Movies by Angel says, why doesn't Nostalgia Critic think the Scooby-Doo movie if it's a prequel? Now, basically, chronological order, you start off with The Mystery Begins, and then Curse of the Lake Gosnell ones. But Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed, I remember seeing this movie in the theaters, and I had a really good time with it. Now, looking back at it as the age I am now, I still really like the Roger Gosnell ones. They're guilty pleasures. They may not be masterpieces, but in comparison to other bad adaptations like Dragon Ball Evolution or Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li, I'll take them any day. Now I really enjoy how this one played out. James Gunn There are some writing in here that does feel a little out of place. There are some things that I felt like could have been toned down a little bit, but I really thought it was pretty good. Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed is my favorite of the live-action Scooby-Doo movies. Very good, Caleb. I really thought that the way they did this and the way they 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 created this, the CGI on Scooby Doo looks pretty cool. I remember used to watch the Skeleton Chase kid when I was younger. There are some pretty entertaining movies. I really love that they brought some monsters from the show. Some Vogue goes in here. You got the Black Knight. You got the evil mask figure. You got the two skeleton twins with the one with the red eyeball and the green eyeball. That was an awesome scene in the theater, and it still gets me excited. Pterodactyls the tar monster stuff. I thought that was really good. I thought that was really entertaining. I thought that was very funny. Like I said, there are some writing problems that I did have when it comes to the writing, and I like the fact that they gave Velma a love interest. I do like the scene where they're basically going on the date. Hunter Review says, I'm not a fan of these films. It feels like money grabbing. The CGI acting is not very good. And Monster at least is competitive competitive one. But still I can't take it seriously. I can understand that, Hunter. Thanks for joining for the ranking. But also I really think there are some other great things that like. I really enjoyed the whole aspect I like the skeleton key. I like they gave Velma a love interest. I I like that Scooby and Shaggy are trying to prove themselves to be more than just the ones who screw up. Alicia Silverstone's pretty good. I like Seth Green in his part. Tim Blake Nelson's great in his part. Jonathan Jacobo, the original Pterodactyl Ghost. I really enjoyed the late Peter Bowles performance. Matthew Lillard is funny in this movie. I really enjoyed Linda Cardellini's performance. She There's a scene where her wearing this all orange leather outfit. She's basically going out on a date with Patrick, and my God, she's beautiful. And Freddie Prinze Jr. and Michelle Gellar does really great as development as Fred and Daphne as well. So let's see what the comments are saying. Me Too movies by Angel. I was fond of the dance scene with Scooby Doo and the female villain. Thanks, Kevin. I enjoyed the dance scene, and the soundtrack is pretty cool too. I do like the entertaining moments when you get them, and I think that is just it's a fun, entertaining sequel. Definitely has problems looking back at it, but as long as it's entertaining enough and fun enough, that's all I ask for. Now, the top two. These two are pretty easy. Coming in number two is Scooby Doo Curse of the Lake Monster. Now, this is the sequel to The Mystery Begins, and I have to say, this sequel to The Mystery Begins was freaking awesome. Like I said, the only problem here, the CGI on Scooby Doo looks really much better here than it did in The Mystery Begins. The soundtrack, I love the song I Don't Want to Think About You. Oh yeah, I love that song too. Simple Plan. Don't want to think about you. But Scooby Doo Curse of the Lake Monster, I think I like this premise of them basically doing something for Daphne's dad on this lake. And then they have to attack the lake monster. The lake monster is pretty interesting. I didn't really care too much about Shaggy and Velma trying to be a couple. I kind of felt like that was out of place. I do like the performances of the two actors, though, and the two actors of Fred and Daphne. The CGI on Scooby Doo looks better here than it does in Mystery Begins, but some of it is still a little off putting. I also really do like how they decide to go and handle the whole, like, relationship with Fred and Daphne and their chemistry with the team. I really enjoy that stuff. I really like that. I like the music here. I like I like the whole lake monster thing. That was pretty cool. Curse of the Lake Monster. I I liked, although I don't like how on the DVD is only the extended version. So basically, the DVD is the extended cut. I've only seen the theatrical version. I'm pretty sure the Blu-ray may have both versions, the theatrical extended version, but I'll check the extended cut out. I will say that the rest of the performances are really cool. I really enjoy how the story is. I enjoy the rest of the stuff in here. I don't know. I didn't know they made. Yes, they made a sequel to the Mystery Begins movies by Angel. There was also a sequel to the 2002 Scooby Doo. I will say that this is a pretty entertaining at best one. Definitely has the problem of the two problems I said I have is the CGI. While it is better here on Scooby Doo, I will say some of it looks a little off putting, but you do got Frank Welker doing the voice. That was a perfect choice for Scooby Doo's voice. And I also really like how they decide to take this one in a completely different direction. Curse of the Lake Monster is an interesting one. However, a glaring flaw with this movie for Scooby Doo movies, there's barely a Scooby Doo. That was another problem I had with this one is that there was a lack of Scooby Doo in this one. I wish you Scooby Doo kind of in it more for a title that says Scooby Doo. But overall, I think Curse of the Lake Monster is a worthy sequel to The Mystery Begins. Now, coming at my number one easily is the 2002 Scooby Doo movie. Man, this was childhood growing up. This was childhood. This Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Cat in the Hat, all fun childhood movies I grew up with. This one was no exception. I was introduced to this. I love Scooby Doo as a kid, and I still love it. I love the cartoons. I had the Scooby Doo blanket until I got rid of it. But I will say that the 2002 Scooby Doo, some problems with it. I'm gonna say the problems I had with it first in case y'all ain't seen the reviews, but I will have a playlist of the Scooby Doo reviews by the end of this once this is finished. I will simply say that the I feel like the movie is a little too short. But luckily, my good YouTube friend Jaquez Jones, he created an extended cut of the film on his channel. I mean, not on his channel, but he created an extended cut of the film, and I really thought that his extended cut was really good. It fixed that problem. It put all the deleted scenes back in, and I wish all those deleted scenes stayed in the movie. Also, I really did think I felt like that some of the decisions that you didn't have to cut out the flashbacks. The flashbacks were important and we needed to see those. Also, I felt like that we needed to see they were doing 2 years later. And also I felt like Scrappy Doo as the villain, he was just there. He didn't make a lasting impression on me back then and now. But I really, I get what they were trying to do with Scrappy Doo. I also really think Matthew Lillard, Linda Cardellini, and Freddie Prinze Jr. They are all well casted here. Some of the writing is not the best. This was James Gunn before Guardians of the Galaxy, but I will say he did a pretty good job here. Oh, we must got Ryan O'Toole. Let's go check the comments and see if we got Ryan O'Toole on here. Let's see. Hang on, guys. Oh, we're live now. We got 3 people watching. Woo! Always great for my people watching these live things I do. It's pretty awesome. So let's see what they're saying. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so we got 3 people watching. Let's see. Hunter review movies by Angel says, yeah, me too. I was introduced to the franchise because of this movie. Caleb Bogus says the 2002 live action Scooby-Doo I loved. Hunter Reviews says, same for me, is a classic. Looking back at it now, it's cheesy and cliche, and the CGI looks awful. The villain is weird, and the twist is so dumb, but still, oh, a classic. You gotta give me that Zack Snyder Scooby-Doo extended cut. Oh yeah, Isla Fisher. I forgot she was in this movie. It's not Isla Fisher because her hair was blonde, but Isla Fisher. She may not be Amy Adams, but I really like her as an actress. She was fine here as Shaggy's love interest. Scrappy, who I was fine with as the villain, says Caleb Bogus. I feel like that if you wanted to have Scrappy as the villain, I felt like you could have done a lot better writing his part. The twist, I will say the twist is dumb. Rowan Atkinson's character is a little weird. Some of the CGI for 2002 doesn't look the best, but it's a lot better than some of the effects you see nowadays in movies. In 2002, you had effects. You had Attack of the Clones. You got Spider-Man. You had Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, which I own. You have Lord of the Rings, Two Towers. Just 2002 was a great year for reviews. Spooky Mountain, I thought Spooky Mountain was real as a young kid, but no, Spooky Mountain was fiction. I really like that whole story there, and I do love the song Spooky Mountain. Requeo, Waldo se la veta power, malevente video, I recollect. This is what we creatures say. I still laugh at that part. And then also the part where Fred says, "Yo, home dogs, you forgot the last part of the dance where we do the electric slide. It's electric. Drives bus. Drives bus. There's a lot of funny moments, but there are also some pretty dumb moments. But I still enjoy Scooby-Doo 2002 to this day. I like all four of the good ones, but Daphne and Velma is just the absolute worst. I do not recommend watching that. I do not recommend watching Scooby-Doo. I do not recommend watching Daphne and Velma. If you're not a fan of Scooby-Doo, you may not like any of these movies I just mentioned. But you may like the first four, but I will say that, yeah, Scooby-Doo 2002 is still entertaining one. So, that was my ranking of all 5 Scooby-Doo movies from worst to best. This was a pretty interesting... And David Mendina Studios, he says, my rating for Orca... What? I don't know. Probably a B plus. Isla Fisher I liked in the movie, and I also love her in Wedding Crashers. To be honest, you're right. CGI back then was pretty bad. I see how Vietnam flashbacks to CGI Ninja Yoda. Now, Yoda in Attack of the Clones, to me, he doesn't look that bad. I was okay with it. I just wish it could have been done the effects were more fixed up before the Attack of the Clones final release. But CGI, it was pretty good. They were just getting started back then in the 2000s, so I can give them credit. Infinity War Part 1 was a damn sad movie. I love Infinity War Part 1. It's not my favorite of the year. So far, it's my number 10. And the only reason why Infinity War is my number 10 is because I do not like the ending of the movie. I don't like the fact that almost half of these Avengers is disintegrated. If you ain't seen Infinity War, it comes out on Blu-ray August 14th. Check it out. I recommend it. A Quiet Place is my favorite movie of 2018. Well, my favorite movie of 2018 so far is Ready Player One, but the best of is going to change. But my guilty pleasure movie of the year is easily Truth or Dare. And my worst movie of the year so far is Hellraiser Judgment. Hopefully Venom does not take that place, but I have a feeling that Venom is going to take that place. Because how much I'm not excited. Oh, The Two Towers has some very fantastic effects. Two Towers is great. It is my least favorite of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. And the ending of A Quiet Place was very satisfying. The ending, I see what they do with A Quiet Place 2. If you can make A Quiet Place 2 as good as the first one, I think you may have a chance of striking gold again with A Quiet Place 2. Caleb Bogus says my favorite year so. Oh, what's your most anticipated movie for the year? Easily Aquaman. I'm excited to see how Aquaman is going to come out. Jason Momoa is Aquaman. James Wan. You got Amber Heard in that movie, who looks smoking hot as Mera in the green skin tight outfit. I'm looking curious to see how Avengers: Infinity War Part 2 goes out. I'm not a fan of the fact that Avengers 4 has to be called Avengers Endgame. I think Endgame is a weak title. That's why when I review Avengers Infinity War Part 2 next year, I'm going to label it as Infinity War Part 2 because this is a two-part story. And I'm going to treat it as a two-part story. I can't wait for First Man, the newest film by Damien Chazelle. Damien Chazelle is a great director. I love Whiplash and I love The La La Land, so this should be fun. So yeah, I will be doing another live Q&A soon. Under Silver Lake, I never heard of, but Suspiria looks good. I'm gonna check out the original before seeing the remake. I'm seeing this one because Dakota Johnson. I like Dakota Johnson as an actress. I like Chloe Grace Moretz, and the trailer looks creepy. I'm not a fan of Tilda Swinton, but I'm not watching it for Tilda Swinton. I'm watching it for Dakota Johnson because Dakota Johnson, she needs something good after those god awful 50 Shades of Oh Heck No movies. So that was my ranking of all five Scooby-Doo movies from my least favorite to my favorite. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was fun doing this. I gotta thank Lucas Green for doing this. So, Avengers Endgame is a pretty weak title. I agree. Just call it Infinity War Part 2. Better title, better movie. I'm just saying, Marvel. I can't wait to see all the characters who basically were disintegrated in Part 1 come back. And another thing that's going to bother me with Infinity War Part 2 is that I feel like you're going to kill off Iron Man only for the fact, only because people want Sherlock Holmes 3. I'm not really interested in Sherlock Holmes 3 all that much, but I'm curious to see how they'll do it. And I'm going to give a shout out to David Mandina Studios. So, your shout out here, go check out Mandina Studios. Why are they calling it the End Game? I don't know. I'm just calling it by its original title. And that's how I'm going to label it next year. So, again, like I said, that was my ranking of all five Scooby-Doo movies from worst to best. Thanks for all the comments, guys. Let me know what you guys think of this ranking down below once this is done and over with. Be sure to check out all of my Scooby-Doo reviews. I will have the playlist linked in the description down below once I finish off writing the playlist. And decline it in game because Doctor Strange said it. That was a cool line, but I don't think Avengers 4 Endgame is a good title. But I will say, I'm curious to see how this wraps up. Because Thanos is going to get what's coming to him. With the help of Iron Man, the other Avengers who survive, Nebula, Gamora will be resurrected, Captain Marvel's going to come, Scarlet Witch is gonna knock. All these heroes are going. All the heroes who got disintegrated and the ones who are living, as well as Captain Marvel, they're coming. They're gonna take you down, Thanos. Anyways, tell me how you rank this series these movies down below. Which one's your favorite? Which one's your least favorite? Is it the 2002 Scooby Doo? Is it Monsters Unleashed? Curse of the Lake Monsters? But yeah, bye, bye everyone. Be sure to check out all my social media links to my Facebook, to my Instagram, my Twitter, my Letterbox. Also, follow me on the Stardust app. I am the Movie Geek 1998. If you don't have Stardust, I definitely recommend the app. It is a pretty fantastic app. And yeah, that's basically it. I'll see you. And also be sure to check out my official Future Filmmaker 39480 official group, as well as my fan page that I created for the channel. It's for updates and stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching. This is Future Filmmaker 39480 signing out. And as always, you guys keep it cool. I'll see you guys in the next ranking and the next live stream. Bye. Mm.